This is about marine carbon monoxide detector requirements for boats, and there's a critical misconception spreading that needs immediate clarification. While there's no new federal Coast Guard mandate taking effect in 2026, the reality of carbon monoxide regulations for recreational boats is far more complex and potentially dangerous than most boat owners realize. Here's the hard truth. Carbon monoxide has killed over 800 people in boating incidents across 35 states, with more than 140 of those poisonings proving fatal. Yet despite these staggering numbers, federal requirements for CO detectors on recreational boats remain virtually non-existent. What we're seeing instead is a patchwork of industry standards, state laws, and voluntary guidelines that leave many boaters unknowingly at risk. The confusion about a 2026 federal mandate likely stems from the American Boat and Yacht Council's evolving standards, which manufacturers must follow for certification. But here's what every boat owner needs to understand about the current regulatory landscape and why carbon monoxide detection isn't just recommended, it's essential for your safety and your family's survival. Carbon monoxide is the silent killer of the boating world. This colorless, odorless, and tasteless gas gets produced whenever carbon-based fuel burns, from your boat's gasoline engine, generator, cooking appliances, or even a simple charcoal grill. Unlike in your home where CO typically builds up gradually, on a boat, deadly concentrations can accumulate in seconds, particularly around swim platforms and enclosed spaces. This phenomenon, known as the station wagon effect, causes CO to pool behind transoms and stern areas where people often swim or relax. The gas works by replacing oxygen in your bloodstream with CO molecules, effectively suffocating you from the inside. At levels of 30 parts per million, detectors begin alerting for at-risk populations, while 1,200 parts per million is considered immediately dangerous to life, according to NIOSH standards. At low levels, symptoms mirror seasickness, nausea, dizziness, and fatigue. At high concentrations, it causes unconsciousness and death within minutes. The cruel irony is that when you're already on the water feeling queasy, the warning signs of carbon monoxide poisoning can be easily dismissed as normal boat sickness. The tragic story that changed everything happened on October 11, 2015, on Lake Minnetonka in Minnesota. 7-year-old Sophia Beckler was enjoying what would be the last boatable day of the season with her family. 30 minutes into their trip, Sophia complained of a headache and said the motor sounded loud. Her parents, both physicians, thought she was tired and suggested she rest in the boat's cabin. But something was terribly wrong. An animal had chewed through the boat's exhaust pipe under the cabin, creating a direct pathway for carbon monoxide to flood the enclosed space. Within minutes, Sophia was found unconscious. Despite her parents' medical expertise and desperate attempts to save her, she never woke up. The boat had no carbon monoxide detector. Sophia's death sparked Minnesota to become the first state in the nation to mandate CO detectors on motorboats. Before we continue with the regulations, I need to be clear about something. This channel usually covers Coast Guard violations and federal compliance requirements that can cost you fines and legal trouble. Today's different. This is about a safety issue that's killed over 800 people, including children like Sophia, and there's still no federal mandate requiring the equipment that could prevent it. I cover what keeps you legal and what keeps you alive. If you want information about both the regulations that exist and the critical safety equipment that should exist, hit subscribe. This carbon monoxide situation is a perfect example of where the industry got it right before the government caught up. Sometimes the most important compliance isn't what's legally required, it's what's necessary to survive. Senator Melissa Franzen, who sponsored the legislation, said, "Frankly, I wish we didn't have to react to a tragedy. But being the first in the nation and bringing awareness to an issue that's pretty common in terms of the likelihood that we are in a boat in Minnesota, land of 10,000 lakes, it makes reasonable sense for us to be a leader on." Sophia's law took effect on May 1, 2017, requiring carbon monoxide detectors on motorboats with enclosed accommodation spaces. But here's the sobering reality. Minnesota remains the only state with such a requirement. Every other state relies on federal guidelines that don't exist or voluntary industry standards that many boat owners don't even know about. The American Boat and Yacht Council has been the primary driving force behind CO detector requirements. ABYC first published their A24 standard for carbon monoxide detection systems back in 1992, but it wasn't until August 1, 1998, that they began actively recommending CO detectors on all boats with enclosed accommodations and gasoline engines or generators. This standard works alongside NFPA 302 fire protection standard for motorcraft to establish comprehensive marine safety protocols. The current ABYC A24 standard, updated in 2020 and now called Installation of Carbon Monoxide Detectors and Alarms, requires marine-grade CO detectors on all boats with enclosed accommodation compartments. This means any boat with a designated sleeping area, galley with sink, and head compartment needs a detector. The standard specifies that detectors must be UL 2034 listed for marine use and positioned to monitor sleeping areas and main cabins. But here's where it gets complicated for boat owners. ABYC standards are voluntary guidelines, not federal law. They become requirements only when boat manufacturers seek National Marine Manufacturers Association certification. If you're buying a new boat from a major manufacturer, it likely already has ABYC-compliant CO detectors. But if you own an older boat or purchased from a smaller builder, you might have no CO protection whatsoever. The numbers tell a stark story about the effectiveness of these standards. A NIOSH report documented 93 fatalities and 377 non-fatal CO poisonings through March 2003. Since then, over 800 boating-related poisonings have been identified. However, the most recent Coast Guard statistics show a dramatic improvement. Only 6 reported cases of CO poisoning and 0 deaths in 2022, compared to nearly 100 fatalities just 2 decades ago. Houseboats historically showed the highest CO fatality rates due to rear venting generator systems creating dangerous accumulation zones. This improvement isn't due to federal mandates. It's the result of increased awareness, better industry standards, and improved boat design. Manufacturers have moved away from dangerous rear-venting exhaust systems on houseboats, implemented better ventilation, increasingly include catalytic converters and emission controls to reduce CO output, and include CO detectors as standard equipment. The detector technology itself has evolved significantly. Early marine CO detectors were simple adaptations of household units, but modern marine detectors use electrochemical sensor technology specifically engineered for the harsh maritime environment. These sensors typically last 5 to 7 years before requiring replacement due to sensor degradation. They must withstand humidity, salt spray, temperature fluctuations, and constant vibration while maintaining sensitivity to dangerous CO levels. Marine-grade detectors differ from household units in crucial ways. They're built with corrosion-resistant materials, have more robust electronics, and are calibrated for the unique conditions aboard boats. Never use a household CO detector on your boat. They're simply not designed for marine environments and may fail when you need them most. Current marine CO detectors from leading manufacturers like Fireboy's Syntex and MTI's Safe T Alert range from $60 to $150 and should be replaced every 5 years, though some newer models can function effectively for up to 10 years. Some advanced units can even be connected to automatically shut-off generators when dangerous CO levels are detected, potentially saving lives before anyone even realizes there's a problem. The installation requirements under ABYCA 24 are specific and science-based. Detectors must be mounted in sleeping areas and main cabins, typically on a bulkhead between 4 and 20 inches from the overhead. They should not be installed in engine rooms, fuel compartments, or areas where they might be damaged by water spray. For boats with outdoor entertainment areas, additional consideration should be given to swim platform CO hazard zones, where gas can accumulate even in open-air environments. For boat buyers, understanding CO detector requirements is crucial for both safety and legal compliance. In Minnesota, operating a motorboat without required CO detectors can result in fines and legal liability. Even in states without specific laws, having proper CO detection can be critical for insurance claims and legal protection if an incident occurs. The absence of federal regulations creates a concerning gap. While the RV industry has required smoke alarms since 1982, the boating industry relies primarily on voluntary compliance and state-by-state legislation. The Coast Guard's traditional hands-off approach to pleasure boat regulations means that life-saving equipment requirements vary dramatically by location and boat type. Looking ahead, industry trends suggest broader adoption of CO detector requirements. The National Marine Manufacturers Association continues updating certification standards, and more manufacturers are including CO detectors as standard equipment rather than optional accessories. Insurance companies are also beginning to recognize the liability reduction that proper CO detection provides. For current boat owners, the message is clear. Don't wait for federal mandates or state requirements. Install marine-grade carbon monoxide detectors now. Check your boat's enclosed spaces, identify where family members sleep or spend time, and ensure adequate detection coverage. Test detectors regularly, replace them according to manufacturer specifications, and maintain them properly. The technology exists to prevent carbon monoxide tragedies on boats. Sophia Beckler's death was preventable with a $60 detector. While federal regulations may eventually catch up to the technology and the need, your family's safety can't wait for bureaucratic processes. In the complex world of boating regulations, carbon monoxide detection is one area where taking personal responsibility can literally mean the difference between life and death. Here's what you need to do in the next 24 hours. First, go to your boat right now and check if you have a marine-grade CO detector in every enclosed sleeping area. Look for the UL 2034 Marine Certification label. If it says household use only or has no UL Marine rating, it doesn't count. Second, check the manufacture date on any detector you find. If it's older than 5 to 7 years, it needs replacement regardless of whether it still beeps during testing. Third, if you're in Minnesota and don't have compliant detectors, you're operating illegally and you're at risk. Drop a comment with your CO detector status. Do you have marine-grade UL 2034 detectors installed? Household detectors that need upgrading, or no detectors at all? I'm tracking how many boats are actually protected versus how many owners think they're protected. If you found you have no detectors or outdated ones, don't panic. Marine-grade units cost $60 to $150, and installation takes 20 minutes. That's less than a tank of fuel, and it could save your family's life. Subscribe if this opened your eyes to a safety gap you didn't know existed. I'm covering other critical safety and compliance topics, from Coast Guard equipment requirements to insurance voids. And if you know someone with an enclosed cabin boat who thinks CO poisoning won't happen to them, share this video. Sophia Beckler's parents were both physicians and didn't see it coming. Share Sophia's story. It might save a life.